Let's talk about the best penny stock to buy right now that could 10x in value in the next couple of months, if not years. Now, I don't necessarily expect that. I think a good 3 to 5x is definitely possible just based off the hype of the news that came out on this stock. Now, the stock that we are talking about is Mind Medicine, and Kevin O'Leary has been very advocate about this stock being one of the next best things in medicine to come in our lifetime. So I do want to bring you guys this news as well as the technical analysis, the trade, and the position that I have in Mind Medicine. So I think you guys will get a ton of value out of this video. But do me one quick favor right now. Tickle, touch, tap, or smash the like button, whatever you want to call it, but make it turn blue for me, as well as subscribe to the channel if you are not already. And there's a Patreon link down below in the description. But the most important thing is to comment down below. Let me know what you think about Mind Medicine. If you have a position or a trade in them, I would love to hear from you guys and pretty much respond to every single comment. Getting right into the video, and before we get into the news, take a look at the price action that happened today at $3.20 when this news did break. They were at $3.35, down 2.62% for the day, and had slowly been selling off down to this point. Once the news came out, we did rally from $3.35 up to a high of the day at $3.91, and that was in after hours. And we are at currently $3.75, still up over 10% for the day. But end of day trading today, we were up 12.21% at $3.86 on some really good volume for the day. At the biggest candle we had, well, not the biggest candle, but we had 1 million volume right here, and then we had 1.44 million volume as of right here. And basically the story just keeps going like that, and then we close the day, so volume is much lower after this point, but still some incredible volume. Even in after hours, we had 120.44 thousand in volume, which is quite incredible for a penny stock in after hours trading, and I do believe this is likely to continue going into the future. Now, taking a look at what Mind Medicine has done, they just IPO'd at $5.69 and pretty much sold off ever since they IPO'd, not even coming close to the price they were at on IPO day, only bouncing up from $4.02 up to $4.57. And I really do like the stock, but they hit a low of $2.92, so they're somewhat in the middle since they IPO'd, still down 34.9%. And for the past month, down 27.05%. So I do think there's much more room to fly on this stock than to actually keep coming down. Now, this news does come from Sinson PR Newsware, and it says MindMed announces the approval of mescaline study, which is their shroom psychedelic, basically the psychedelic they're trying to use in a more regulated therapeutic regimen or microdosing. So it says mescaline is a classic serotonergic hallucinogen similar to LSD psilocybin with a long non-regulated history of spiritual use. However, modern regulated studies using validated psychometric tools and directly comparing different doses of mescaline, including placebo, are missing. We believe this phase 1 study will provide such data and an important basis for further research in the therapeutic potential of mescaline. And does go on to say it'll be done by this doctor. It says this study will, we believe, provide the first modern research data on mescaline regarding dosing and mechanism of action in humans. Goes on to say how the drug interacts with the body, that compared to LSD and I don't even know how to say that word, so I'm not going to keep butchering it, but relatively high doses of 300 to 800 milligram mescaline are needed to produce a prototypical hallucinogenic experience. Whether there are differences in the effects of mescaline compared with those of LSD, or that word I cannot pronounce, will also be determined in additional studies. Goes on to say how, the respirator or the receptors of mescaline introduce altered states of consciousness using the 5-HT2A receptor blocker I'm not even going to try to keep reading the rest of this, but it is essentially very, very good news for Mind Medicine. And I do apologize for butchering a lot of those words. I am clearly not a doctor, so the pronunciation of those words was obviously not 100% correct. And I do accept that fault here. Hopefully you guys stick with me, and let's take a look at the technical analysis. The technicals do look very good as well. It is kind of hard to see, but we are in a slightly bullish uptrend as of right now, especially after today. And this is just charting our lows after you do rip up and then come down to a low, rip up, come down, and rip up again. That is basically the bottoms of the sell-offs after the rips, and it does look fairly bullish. We won't know too much until tomorrow. This could start a whole new trend. But as far as since we IPO'd, our lowest low tick was $2.75. So I don't really think we're going back to that level, especially after the news that we did get today. But I'm going to chart it on here just to be mindful. Just to be mindful of it, right? But I do think a more reasonable support level, a basis of support right now, is at about the $3.28 mark, and that is where we have just been consolidating out for quite a while. And that's actually where we started to bounce today, close to that range at about $3.30-ish to 35 cents. That's where we started to get some gas today. And with the news that we do got, I think it's really good. Now, as far as when we IPO'd, we did hit a high of $6.14, and if you bought at the high up here, then hopefully you averaged down somewhere along the way. But if you didn't, I mean, right now is still a good time to, you know, average down or even get into a position. As far as our first level of resistance, it is going to be about, you know, 60 cents away from now at about $4.37. And if we do get some steam above that, then we could go as high as around $5 in the near term. Now, we could go absolutely parabolic if the news does start picking up on this and we start to get more publicity about this approval from Switzerland, but who knows if that'll actually happen. I do expect at least to go up 1 to 2x back to our $6 IPO price. That is pretty, or our IPO high. I do think that is pretty reasonable given the news that we do have here. But we can see we are above our 50-day moving average, which has been slowly moving up. That does help us to indicate a bullish uptrend. As far as the MACD, you see a lot of good inflows, and the CCC line is above the signal line, so that does signal a bullish uptrend as well. I don't think there's too much downside here, like I said, to about the $3.30 mark. That's really where I see us falling, and that is 50 cents from our current price of $3.75. So I do think we have more room to go up here as to going down here. But to my position, I bought 100 shares. I only had I think about 10 shares before, just to throw a little bit at this when it was about $4 or $5. So I did average down quite a lot. Bought 100 shares just because it's so cheap. You get 100 shares for $377 is what I paid. And even if you do want to come to the option chain, go to the June 18th, you can agree to sell 100 shares at $5, so make 130 bucks profit and collect $40 just for agreeing to sell your shares at that price. So that is what I do plan to do with Mind Medicine once we do gap up like I think we are headed for. But the trade that I made today was an NMDM Mind Medicine, a $5 call for June 18th. I bought this when the news just came out at $24. 24 cents is what it looks like as far as options. That just means $24. It is currently up 79.17%, up $19. It was up a high today of about 100%, exactly 100% actually. 24 bucks going to 48. I just decided to hold it just because there is a decent amount of time until June 18th, and I do expect us to continue to go higher and, you know, mix in there selling a cover call and this option. I think it's going to be pretty hard to lose, especially at the price that I did get this option at. So that is how I would play it. I would definitely get as much time as possible with a reasonable premium premium. Now these Septembers don't look too bad. The September 750 call for 65 cents doesn't look too bad, but the July definitely looks a little bit better, about half the price for a 750 call. So you could essentially buy two. Once this price does shoot up, sell one back, get your initial investment, and hold the other one as free profits. So that is pretty much how I would play it, and that is my position in Mind Medicine, along with the news. Now, I'm not sure if I want to make this an actual long-term investment. This is more of a trade for me as of right now. I do think the psychedelic medicine field is in such a baby stage that it could be a couple years before you actually start to see some revenue here that'll justify, a $3.62 million. Oh, that's not bad at all. It should be billions, I believe. Let me check this right now. I did not plan to actually medicine. I did not actually plan to check this out, but if that is in millions, that is really, really, really low. So let's check it out. I think it's supposed to say billions though. Let's check the market cap. 1.241 billion. So that's pretty low. I mean, you really can't go wrong holding the shares at this price unless they start doing a lot of direct offerings. But since they IPO'd, they should have a decent amount of cash on hand. And like I said, this is only looking at this as a trade as of right now. If you guys want, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and comment down below and let me know that you want a full in-depth dive into Mind Medicine, and I will surely do that if enough of you guys do want that. That is the news around Mind Medicine, the trade that I made, and how you guys can trade this, as well as the technical analysis. So if you guys liked the video, if you guys got anything useful out of it, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and comment down below. Patreon, link down below in the description, as well as get $5 in free stock in whatever stock you want. It only takes 2 minutes to sign up, and that is with Public. Link is also in the description. I got $5 free worth of Tesla, so why not for a 2-minute sign up? And this is cool because you don't have to link your actual checking account or savings account. You can link a debit card, so it makes it much easier to link and deposit funds, but that is not necessary to get your $5 in free stock. With that being said, be safe out there, traders, and until next time, take care.